Okay, hi guys. I'm going to read this right here. This is what's going on. Okay. The seventh angel blew the trumpet, and there were loud voices shouting in heaven. The world has now become the kingdom of my God, my Father, and his love. And she will reign forever and ever. The 24 elders sitting on their thrones before God fell with their faces to the ground and worshipped her and said, something about that, the 24 elders sitting on their thrones. I don't know. I don't know. Fell with their faces to the ground and worshipped her, and they said, "We give thanks to you, O Lord, God the Almighty, the one who is and who always was, and now you have and now you have assumed your great power and have begun to reign. The nations were filled with wrath, but now the time of your wrath has come. It is time to judge the dead and reward your servants and reward your daughter, the prophet, as well as your holy people, as your saints, and all who fear her name, who fear your name, God. From the least to the greatest, it is time to destroy all who have caused destruction on the earth." Then in heaven, the temple of God was opened, and the ark of his covenant could be seen inside the temple. Lightning flashed, thunder crashed, and roared, and there was an earthquake and a terrible hailstorm. Okay, so I want to go take that as you were, but there is something that I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight or tomorrow, but there is Jezebel written in the Revelations chapter 17, the great prostitute. Revelation 17. And I take that to be Beyonce. And also in a way of the Queen Elizabeth and her bloodline over there. I'm going to read that. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys why. I'm going to tell you why you could not destroy me. You got to do your homework. Okay? I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you why. All right? I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you. why you guys are gonna be poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of this psalm right here. The one who lives in the shelter of the Most High God will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about my Father. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him. For he will rescue me from every trap and protect me from deadly disease. He will cover me with his feathers. He will shelter me with his wings. His faithful promises are my armor and protection. My Father gave me these promises before I was born, before I was put in my mother's womb. He told me, you will trust in me. And anybody who tries to make you not trust me, I am going to destroy. Anyone who lies to you or puts illusions in front of you to make you not trust me or believe in me, I am going to kill them. I will keep beating on them, terrorizing them until they die. So my Father will cover me with his feathers. He will shelter me with his wings. His faithful promises are my armor and my protection. He told me, do not be afraid of the terrors of the night, nor an arrow that flies in the day. Do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness. So whatever Richie was out there with the prostitutes or whatever he was doing, and it attached itself to him, although I was, you know, I was faithful to him in our marriage bed, right? Those diseases cannot attach itself to me because I'm holy. I belong. My dad protected me from those. But human beings, you guys are not protected from that. You're going to get that. You're going to get that. It's going to come up on your body and start to deteriorate your body. Those in Hollywood, those sickness, those STDs, they coming on you. They're going to start to appear. You're going to look like what you've been through. Do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness, because you guys sent prostitutes to Richie, knowing that they had a disease, and try to get him to give it to me. That's sick and twisted. That's sick and twisted. And that's why my dad has mercy for him, because it was witchcraft. Once a man, a married man, enters the lady part of a female, a prostitute, that's not his wife, that's where witchcraft comes in. And he sees his wife as the enemy. And that's what happened to Richie. That all he has to do, and this is what happened to all the males in Hollywood, was sleep with a witch. Dirty Diana. Susie. Sleep with a witch. That's all he had to do, and then that was it. She was put on him like white on rice. And that's what she's out of my life. She's out of my life. She's out of my life. He knew love was in his heart, but it was snatched away. He felt an emptiness. He's like, I'm here, but I'm not liking. There's something in him went void. Like, and I was thinking Quincy knew that warlock. Knew exactly what happened to him. Those girls grew up in witchcraft. Beyonce's bloodline, everybody that Quincy knew had some type of a voice that can make a lot of money. He made sure that him and Barry Gordy kept it in the bloodline or attached some type of person to that male. They knew that Michael was destined to run the world. They knew he was a child of light. But because he didn't listen, to me, it said it is written that we should not bow down. He wanted to be great. He wanted to be famous. But he can't be without me. He could be famous, but he will never be happy. My dad made him the loneliest person in the world. And everybody after him who followed after him, lonely. Lonely. Never a good time. Sitting around a bunch of demons looking at each other. Soulless. No matter how they put their arm around you, say I love you and kiss you. That male, Combs, kissing everybody, was giving them people the kiss of death. He's a phony. Okay. So he says, daughter, do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness, nor the disaster that strikes at midday. Though 1,000 fall at your side, though 10,000 are dying around you. Because they are dying. I may not know or hear about it, but they're dying. These evils will not touch you. Just open your eyes and see how the wicked are punished. I think I'm going to start seeing some things. And see how my father's fighting for me, because I want to see now. Like, I'm like, Dad, show me, because I need to see. It's my time to see the desires of my enemies. For the fruit, getting paid back for the fruit of their ways. Those who just still think that they want me to die, or they think they could get me, they could get me. My dad says, Ayana, if you make your father your refuge, if you make me your refuge, if you make me your shelter, no evil will conquer you, no plague will come near your home. For I will order my angels to protect you wherever you go. They will hold you up in their hands so you won't even hurt your foot on a stone. You will trample upon lions and cobras, and you will crush fierce lions and serpents under your feet. That means the killiest of the killers. Like, they're nothing to me. My father says, I will rescue you because you love me. I will protect you because you trust in my name. When you call on me, I will answer. I will be with you in trouble. I will rescue you and honor you. I will reward you with a long life and give you my salvation. Hallelujah. And see, man has turned this into a promise for them. No, that's not a promise for them. This promise was from my father to me. He's like, watch you humans, what I see, what I do for my daughter. Nothing will harm you. And if I let something happen to you, it's only a minute thing compared to what is going to happen to them who are trying to attack you and kill you. So that's why I'm still here. Okay? And it's a blessing for my angels who love and obey my words and want this prophecy to be fulfilled. Okay? So let's get it together. Let's get it together. And my angels, if you're around the place where these storms are coming down and whatever, you can help your neighbor. Help your neighbor because they're going to need it. And that's what you're sitting here to do. Help your neighbor. Be good to them, feed them, or whatever, because that should be a lesson learned for them. Don't mess with the Lord love, your God. That's a lesson for them. They escaped with their lives. Everybody in America, under the sound of my voice, you escaped a death situation, that's a warning. And if you didn't quite get it, they're coming back for more. Like my father said, on the day when my father's wrath shows up, it'll be like running from a bear into a house, leaning on the wall and getting bit by a snake. It's like, oh, I thank God that I went through, I didn't die. But yeah, you didn't die, so that means the job is not finished. That's a warning. I'm trying to tell you, stop lying. The enemy, like on these shows, on these talk shows, stop lying. Stop lying. Shut your mouth. You're lying. People from Hollywood, whatever, stop lying to the masses. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop taking a bribe. Stop going on talking about things that's not helping people. When you know darn well you guys came out here and tried to kill me, and you know that I'm here today, still alive and breathing, eternal love. And my dad sent me to you guys to save you. What is Holly Berry talking about? Stop doing interviews with these, especially the males. I'm just talking to the males because I really could care less what the Holly weird women, girls, females are doing. I really could care less because they were on some old hot mess stuff. But the men, just stop. Or my dad's going to stop you to preserve you. And that's his mercy. If he makes you sick, if he makes you break a leg and have you sit down in your apartment or wherever you are, then that's his mercy. That's because you weren't listening. You worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to say. If he says, you know what, go to the homeless shelter, go to the homeless shelter. Because that's still mercy. Because you didn't listen the first time I told you. They're going to start filming you in worse situations. So stop while you're ahead. Be patient and wait. I'm waiting. I'm patient. I'm waiting. It's not easy, but I'm waiting. It's not safe out in Hollywood for my sons. It's not safe. It's not safe. Get out of Hollywood. Get out of California. It's not safe. That's all I can say right now. I just keep saying that. It's not safe. It's not safe. For those who love me, you men coming out of Hollywood who love me, you better get to Jersey. You better get near me. It's only safe when I'm here. But when I'm gone, you guys got to come with me. It's not safe in California. Mm-mm. It's not safe. Mm. Yeah. It's the great prostitute. Let's read about her. Yeah. The great prostitute. One of the seven angels who had poured out the seven bowls came over and spoke to me. Come with me, he said, and I will show you the judgment that is going to come on the great prostitute who rules over many waters. The kings of the world have committed adultery with her, and the people who belong to this world have been made drunk by the wind of her immorality. Beyonce and anybody in that unroyal kingdom over there in the UK. So the angel took me in the spirit into the wilderness. There I saw a woman, a female, sitting on a scarlet beast that had 7 heads and 10 horns, and blasphemies against love were written all over it. The female wore purple and scarlet clothing and beautiful jewelry made of gold and precious gems and pearls. In her hand she held a gold goblet full of obscenities and the impurities of her immorality. A mysterious name was written on her forehead: Babylon, the great mother of all prostitutes and obscenities in the world. Beyonce had all these females spreading their legs, doing all kinds of things, prostituting themselves as whores. It's a prostitution ring. It is sex trafficking. And all the singers wanted to be like her. Okay? Babylon, the great mother of all the prostitutes and obscenities in the world. I could see that she was drunk with blood, drunk with the blood of God's Holy One, who were witnesses for love, who was a witness for God. They were drinking my blood, taking my blood and drinking it in their rituals. I stared at her in complete amazement. Why are you so amazed? The angel asked. I will tell you the mysteries of this female and of the beast with 7 heads and the 10 horns on which she sits. The beast you saw was once alive, but isn't now. And yet he will soon come up out of the bottomless pit and go to eternal destruction. And the people who belong to this world, whose names were not written in the book of life before the world was made, will be amazed at the reappearance of this beast who had died. This calls for a mind with understanding. The 7 heads of the beast represent the 7 hills where the woman rules. They also represent 7 kings. 5 kings have already fallen. The 6th now reigns, and the 7th is yet to come, but his reign will be brief. The scarlet beast that was, but is no longer, is the 8th king. He is like the other 7, and he too is headed for destruction. The 10 horns of the beast are like 10 kings who have not yet risen to power. They will be appointed to their kingdoms for one brief moment to reign with the beast. They will all agree to give him their power and authority. Together they will go to war against the Lamb, the Holy One. But the Lamb will defeat them because she is Lord of all lords and Queen of all kings. And she called and chosen and faithful one will be with her. And her called and chosen and faithful ones will be with her. Then the angel said to me, the waters where the prostitute is ruling presents masses of people, every nation and language. The waters where the prostitute is ruling represents masses of people of every nation and language. The scarlet beast and his horns all hate the prostitute. Ended up hating her. They will strip her naked, eat her flesh, and burn her remains with fire. For God has put a plan into their minds, a plan that will carry out his purposes. They will agree to give her their authority. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast, and so the words of God will be fulfilled. And this woman you saw in your vision represents the great city that rules over the kings of the world. Yep. They're both going to be burned. Queen Elizabeth and Beyonce. Oh, her mother and her father, they did. All of those higher ups, the enemy. It's terrible. Wow. It says the fall of Babylon. After all this, I saw another angel come down from heaven with great authority, and the earth grew bright with his splendor. She gave a mighty shout. Babylon is fallen. The great city is fallen. She has become a home for demons. She is a hideout for every foul spirit, a hideout for every foul vulture and every foul and dreadful animal. For all the nations have fallen because of the wine of her passionate immorality. The kings of the world have committed adultery with her because of her desires for extravagant luxury. The merchants of the world have grown rich. Then I heard another voice calling from heaven, "Come away from her, my people. Do not take part in her sins, or you will be punished with her. For her sins are piled as high as heaven, and God remembers her evil deeds." That girl was a killer. Evil demon witch, Beyonce. Okay? And the evil queen of the UK. Her sins are piled high as heaven, and God remembers her evil deeds. Do to her as she has done to others. Double her penalty for all her evil deeds. She brewed a cup of terror for others. She brewed twice as much for her. She glorified herself and lived in luxury, so match it now with torment, and sorrow. She boasts in her heart, I am queen of my throne. I am no helpless widow, and I have no reason to mourn. Therefore, these plagues will overtake her in a single day: death and mourning and famine. She will be completely consumed by fire, for the Lord my God, who judges her, is mighty. And the kings of the world who committed adultery with her and enjoyed her great luxury will mourn for her as they see the smoke rising from her charred remains. They will stand at a distance, terrified by her great torment. They will cry out, how terrible for you, O Babylon, you great city. In a single moment, God's judgment came upon you. So I'm going to end the video right there. And maybe I'll continue and finish the destruction of Beyonce and Ahab, Jay-Z. Talk to you guys in the next one. Mwah.